A cup of sweet cardamom tea sat untouched as Ram stepped out into the dusty courtyard. Above him, the relentless sun beat down on the sandstone, turning the air hazy and thick. The sprawling Rathor Haveli seemed to sag under the heat, its vibrant colors dulled to the shades of dried blood and ashes. 3 days. Ram had been here for 3 days, unraveling the twisted threads of deceit that ran through this family like veins of iron. In the heart of Jaisalmer, where the mighty Mehrangarh fort stood guard, this Haveli was a labyrinth of echoing courtyards, of secret passageways hidden behind latticed windows. And within its cool depths simmered a pot of secrets as old as the desert itself. He turned towards the main entrance, his gaze sweeping over the rows of men and women seated on the floor. They were the Rathors, a family whose lineage stretched back to the legendary heroes of Rajasthan, or so they claimed. Now they were gathered like vultures around their dying king. Ram spotted Vikram first. The younger brother, lean and lined with bitterness, sat apart from the group, nursing a clay cup of tea. Next to him, his wife, Ganga, wrung her hands nervously, her eyes darting about like trapped birds. Facing them, bathed in the golden glow of the setting sun, sat Rajendra, the head of the Rathor clan. Despite his age, his shoulders were ramrod straight, his eyes hard and watchful, like a hawk surveying its domain. Beside him sat his wife, Kamal, her face etched with worry lines that mirrored the parched earth after a long dry spell. Then there were the children, or rather the children of the Rathors. The eldest, Arjun, handsome and debonair, lived up to the image of the wandering Rajasthani prince. Across from him sat his wife, Meera, a statuesque beauty whose laughter echoed like wind chimes in the courtyard. Their presence here, however, did little to lighten the somber mood. And finally, there was Ranbir, the youngest son, and his wife Nimi, their faces pale, their eyes downcast, reflecting the darkening sky above. "The police have found the body," Arjun announced abruptly, his voice cracking the silence like a whip. "Another one." Ram nodded, his eyes fixed on the ground. The second victim was a young maid who had been discovered strangled in one of the upper chambers, her lifeless eyes staring blankly at the ceiling. "Suicide," Kamal spat, her voice sharp with denial, just as the first one. But Ram shook his head slowly, meeting the old woman's gaze. "2 servants dead within days in the same house. No one dares enter the upper chambers. Even the family members avoid the servants now." "What a convenient story," he said, his voice soft yet cutting, like a knife honed to a razor edge. "You suspect foul play, then?" Arjun challenged, rising to his feet, his face contorted with anger. Ram didn't flinch. "I don't entertain assumptions, Mr. Rathor. I deal in facts." He gestured to the untouched teacup on the table beside him. "And this," he continued, picking it up and examining it closely, "was too hot to be left alone for so long. Someone was drinking it, waiting for me to come to this courtyard and deliver my verdict. Someone wanted me to know they are watching, waiting, striking when I least expect it." A gasp escaped Ganga, her fingers flying to her mouth. All eyes were now on her husband, Vikram, whose face had drained of color. He stammered, I only wanted to ask about the investigation." "Indeed," Ram replied, his gaze boring into Vikram. "I knew you would join us, Mr. Rathor. I saw your footprints in the courtyard from last night. You were here when I was speaking with the family. You must have slipped in when everyone went to the temple. It takes a clever mind to think like that. A clever mind and nimble feet." Vikram opened his mouth to speak, but no sound came out. His wife Ganga grabbed his arm, her eyes pleading with him to stay silent. "Why are you here, Vikram? If you want your share of the family property, you need only ask. Your father will decide," Arjun said smoothly. His tone was laced with condescension, as though handing out charity. "Don't insult me, elder brother," Vikram spat back. "I want nothing from you or our father. I only want justice. My sister-in-law was murdered and you think she took her own life. I will prove it, if only someone would listen." A heavy silence descended upon the courtyard. Kamal cleared her throat. "We all grieve the loss of our servants, but accusing one another will not bring them back. Instead, it will only drive a wedge deeper into our family. We must let Ram do his job and trust that he will find the truth." Vikram opened his mouth to argue, but Ram raised a hand to silence him. "There is no need for accusations now. We already know the next move of our unseen killer. Let us wait and see how this game plays out." They waited. Days melted into nights, and the tension in the Haveli thickened like the dust in the air. Sleep became a luxury, and meals were eaten in tense silence. Fear, like a creeper, wound its way into the Rathore family, twisting their relationships and suffocating their trust. Ram moved like a ghost through the labyrinthine passages of the Haveli, examining every nook and corner. He revisited the servant quarters, noting the subtle signs of panic, the overturned furniture, the hastily packed bags. He spoke with each family member, probing, listening, searching for the flicker of guilt in their eyes. Then, just as the moon waxed full, casting an eerie glow over the sandstone, there was another death. This time, it was Mira, Arjun's wife, found slumped on the floor of her bedroom, a single strand of hair from her elaborate braid lying beside her lifeless form. The family erupted in a cacophony of grief and accusations, but Ram held up a hand, silencing them. "3 deaths," he murmured, stepping over a discarded anklet on the floor. The tinkling sound from that fateful night echoed in his ears. He recognized the anklets now, Mira's anklets. As the family watched, he picked up the anklets, his eyes gleaming with the thrill of the chase. "I believe our killer has made a fatal mistake. They have left their calling card behind." That night, under the watchful gaze of 1,000,000 stars, Ram confronted the Rathores with the evidence he had gathered. One by one, he laid out their deceptions, their secrets, their motives. He revealed the hidden resentment simmering beneath the surface of their perfect lives. Arjun flushed, his bravado crumbling under Ram's steady gaze. His claims of loyalty and love for his family evaporated under the scorching desert sun. Mira's affair with the accountant was exposed, weaving a tale of betrayal and lust, and Vikram's quiet dignity was shattered as his wife, Ganga, confessed to dabbling in the black arts, seeking power and revenge for her husband's humiliation. The family crumbled, their carefully constructed facades melting away like ice in the desert wind. But the mastermind behind the killings remained elusive, hiding in plain sight. Then, as the first rays of dawn touched the horizon, Ram turned to the eldest Rathore, Kamal. Her face, etched with worry lines, was now ashen and shaken. "You have kept a secret for far too long, Kamal," he said, his voice leaving no room for argument. "Tell me where it is, where you have hidden it." She looked at him, her eyes filled with sorrow. Finally, she gestured to a portrait of a stern-faced woman hanging on the wall. Behind the portrait was a false panel, cleverly disguised. Opening it revealed a secret passage leading to a hidden vault. "What is in there?" Ram asked softly. Kamal sighed. "The Navratna necklace, the reason for all this bloodshed. It is cursed, Ram. I tried to protect my family from it, but now I fear it is too late." He stepped into the passage, the weight of the family's sins pressing down on him. Inside the vault, amidst the decaying jewels, lay the truth behind the Rathore family's suffering. The necklace, tarnished and lifeless, held no magic, no curse. Its curse was the greed and envy it had inspired, twisting the Rathores until they turned on one another. In the heart of Rajasthan, where secrets slept in the sandstone, Ram had unearthed the darkness that lay dormant in the Rathore family, proving that sometimes the greatest monsters hide not in the shadows, but in the guise of sophistication and grace.